Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here in the home stretch, our final best of 3 of the day for the Dota 2 Asia Championships European Qualifier. We've got Alliance versus Power Rangers. This is our first set of semifinals in the upper portion of the bracket. So the winner of this actually going to be in pretty good shape, making it to that winner's finals.
Yeah, winner of this in excellent shape. And coming into this match, well, we can quickly review how they got here. Alliance took down Tinker 2-1. Alliance is running their new roster, so no PyCat in their previous series. They had Nikwa playing, who's going to be going to their next upcoming LAN, I believe, with them.
I think so.
I think PyCat was having some visa issues, I was reading.
Radiant team
but
pick.
with that said,
Radiant team
they looks like they
ban.
have PyCat in the game now, or at least someone who's named PyCat, unless we're getting
Alliances
trolled here.
turn to
So
bans.
It's not normally how he spells it, so I'm a little suspicious, but
also worth mentioning, Tinker is experimenting with a bit of a new roster now. They've got a Rise and Way Too Sexy in for them. So both teams with new rosters. The Western Shuffle is still in its infancy, I guess you could say. And
10
with that said, draft on
remaining.
away, Alliance ran Troll in the last series in, let's see,
5
2 of the games.
seconds
Loda played it
remaining.
twice, so expect to see Loda on this once more. And they won 1 of those games. So not a perfect year for them, but it has been
Reserve
solid.
yeah.
And it should be interesting to see the new roles. I think the big thing for the new Alliance with me is, well, is EGM actually in the game? Is he Potato or?
I was going to ask you the same thing. EGM played off lane earlier, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure who this Potato is. We'll have to see if we can check the profile.
It's
when we
kind
get
of a
here.
natural transition for EGM. I feel where he got so much farm in the old
Radiant
Alliance
team
with
ban.
Ake being like a very hard 5 position player most of the time that
Alliances
it
turn
felt like
to
he was a
ban.
little bit off in the patch where the more recent patches where it's been more about aggressive supports, a lot of early movements. The game has seemed to slow down over the past month or so, but leading up to that, it was really all about the pressure supports. That's where like FY and
10
Fenrir were
seconds remaining.
really successful in the latest patch. But yeah, we're going to
5
see EGM in the 3
seconds
position. I'm
remaining.
very excited for that. On the other side, you've got PR, and they have stuck with this roster for a while. To me,
Reserve
the player
time.
that I get most excited about watching is Ditya Ra. The guy is just an unbelievable beast on
Alliances
Slark.
turn
Haven't
to
seen so
pick.
much Slark lately, but very underrated team. To me, Power Rangers in the top 3, I would say, favorites to take this, along with, I think it's all CIS teams that I would have in the top 3 right now.
Yeah.
Virtus Pro Polar, Hellraisers, Power Rangers, to me.
Yeah, PR has been a fascinating team for kind of a while. They've, as I think many have kind of come to agree upon now, they're a really strong best-of-1 team. They've always been that way, just very strong
10
at catching you
seconds
off guard,
remaining.
and a dark horse that's often underestimated, but
5
they haven't
seconds
really been able to
remaining.
qualify for those big events. They've been one of these teams that's consistently like just in that edge, like stuck in the tie
Reserve
breaks to
time.
qualify for the LAN finals, and then often do not find themselves coming out on top when the games really matter. So this could be their time to shine. You know, maybe this is PR's final time. This roster does seem to be a bit more stable, and they seem to be kind of hitting their stride.
They're always so close, but they just end up being the bridesmaid, not the bride too often. I hope it changes though. I really want to see PR finally break through. We might even get our VODs muted playing their theme song if they do. PR ban interestingly here. I want to point out second stage they ban out the
Radiant
Void and the
team
Slardar.
pick.
Generally not here, especially Slardar. Normally not a hero you'd see ban, but with Troll, I think you actually do want to ban out heroes that really benefit from the attack speed aura. And
Yep.
we saw the
Alliances
Bachelor
turn
strat
to
in
pick.
game 1 of the previous series, and I don't know if that's what Alliance would have gone for. They did it a few times in the last series, though. They ran Void with the Troll for EGM. They ran Nature's Prophet, and they also ran a Juggernaut, although never mind, that wasn't with the Troll. But
Okay.
generally you want to get these heroes that scale well with the attack
Yeah,
speed.
and depending on how reliable you feel Twitch chat is today, LD Potato is rumored to be EGM, and I believe that is actually Podcat. So I think we
10
do have
seconds
the
remaining.
recognizable Swedish squad here, and should
5
be interesting. A
seconds
fun mix of
remaining.
players, that's for sure. And of course, get to cast Mind Nuts, and that's always a good fun.
It's
Reserve
going to be a
time.
tough cast to keep
Always.
a straight face.
Always, but Chen once
I
more.
have the humor of an 8-year-old boy. I'm very easily amused, and I'll try to keep it together just for you guys because we love you so much.
Alliance chewing into their bonus time here. 10 seconds
seconds
left to decide
remaining.
what they want to do with this third pick. They've got their supports taken care of.
5
Line and the
seconds
Chen. They're going to need to
remaining.
pick up another core. And there's the Storm Spirit. I believe in the third game of that series we saw
Radiant
earlier
team
was where
pick.
PyCat really shined. I think he played a Storm Spirit
That's right.
and slapped some people around.
Yeah, Storm actually does a lot of right-click damage. He's no more for the magic damage from Overload, but giving him attack speed is valuable. He generally tends to zip a lot in between auto attacks, but maybe you get like 2 off before your next zip. Could make a difference. I wouldn't say he's the perfect partner for Troll, but if it's something that Alliance are confident in, it makes sense. It's also
10
very good at
seconds
punishing
remaining.
split push. Nature's Prophet Wisp, you do not want to go off on your own against the
5
Storm, and with a
5
Lion backing
seconds
him
remaining.
up, their pickoff potential for Alliance is very good, so
Yeah.
the Exterminators basically in the
Reserve
house
time.
at this point.
Yeah, so I'm more curious right now what Power Rangers have in mind with this Wisp. I believe it's something they've been playing at least sometimes recently. Not a total wild card pick. They'll grab their other support, so they will keep it a mystery
Alliances
towards
turn to ban.
the end of this draft here. But I still think Tiny CK, the two sort of classic obvious choices. We'll see. We'll see what Alliance want to ban out. What do they not want to fight against? And they're afraid of the Bristleback.
Yeah, I
Radiant
think
team
Bristleback
ban.
is more in line with what fits this kind of draft, right? Because if you go for something that's more about spreading the map, the Storm and Lion picks can really punish you. So a hero that goes well with Wisp that can also 5-man and just take earlier and larger scale engagements is the
10
Bristle. So
seconds
they
remaining.
could still definitely go for a Tiny type of hero, but
5
it's going to be
seconds
difficult
remaining.
to get away with farming out in the map. And maybe you can't kill the Tiny, but you can definitely kill the
Reserve
Wisp backing him
time.
up
Yeah.
if he's off on his own.
And I actually remember Alliance doing like some
Alliances
Wisp
turn to pick.
Bristle kind of stuff, like safe lane Wisp Bristle, and just really trying to get that snowball going, go aggro try. So something that I know Alliance are comfortable with, and maybe they know the true power, so they're not gonna.
Yeah, they've got the Ake Chen, and we
Yeah.
all know the power of Ake on micro here. He's a fantastic
yeah.
Chen player, one of the best in the world. Haven't seen it much in a long time, so I think this patch should be exciting for Alliance fans in that respect. And with Troll Chen, they push
10
pretty hard. They
seconds
roach pretty
remaining.
early, though they may need to pick up like a medallion or something if they
5
really want to go
seconds
rush.
remaining.
But it'll depend a lot on this last pick. Don't have a ton of team fight right now, so they'll shore that up with a Tide Hunter.
There you go.
Radiant
Great
team
final pick to round out their roster. Some
Also,
huge team fight.
I was mentioning Enigma very good against relocates. Tide Hunter even better. Just guaranteed counter initiate.
Yeah.
Difficult to gank.
And just looking at this lineup, I feel like Tide should do okay in the offlane here. There's Skywrath can be irritating, chip away at him with the Arcane Bolt, but just a good solid draft from Alliance. A lot of disable, a lot of carry potential. They can definitely go late game with a Troll and
10
Storm Spirit if
seconds
they need to.
remaining.
And a lot of push. With a Chen Troll, you can expect towers to be falling
5
down
seconds
fairly
remaining.
easily. And Dire with Troll, great Roche control. And I feel like this has pretty much everything you want to hit
Reserve
for a pretty
time.
strong lineup.
Yeah, they're very well-rounded draft from Alliance. What is Power Rangers going to do Wisp partner-wise? We mentioned CK, Tiny, there's Gyro, who's been less popular as of late. It needs to be a pretty... They don't really have much in the way of late game right now. So
Yeah.
if they want to take this later against Alliance, it needs to be something that... You have to be able to fight early, though, right? Because you're up against Troll Chen Tide, so they're going to push hard. If you pick something that's too weak in the early fights, you have a Brew, but Brew alone is not going to be able to... the thing is Chen can heal, right? So you can... As teammates start dropping low to the Brew split, you send them back, you heal. I think Chen is actually really good against Brewmaster.
Yeah.
And... I would expect a harder carry here for PR, but something that can fight, something that can still fight fairly early. And Gyro fits the bill.
Okay, Gyro's good. And the more I look at it, the more I think Bristle kind of would have been perfect here. A nice tanky frontliner, somebody that can get a lot of momentum and just be a constant irritant through that mid game.
Natural Crimson Guard builder as well, which is really nice to have against Chen, and just 5 heroes with the Troll ult, getting a lot of attack speed.
But Gyro can still be pretty potent. Now,
Yeah,
this is the real test. Does Ditya Ra have the proper Gyro set, LD? That's the real test.
Does he have my set? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I like that set. Kunkka did a really and Brandon Smiley Face guy
It's a
did
cool
a really
set
great
for
job.
sure. I feel like I haven't seen Ditya Ra play too much Gyro. I'm thinking of all the games I cast. Not a terribly.
Honestly, when I was
hero,
casting him, it was when he was in his Slark prime.
Yeah,
Literally
me too.
every game Slark.
Yeah,
So.
that's what I think of right away. Also,
It's a good partner
10
for Wisp
seconds
because
remaining.
Wisp loves to stack the woods, and Gyro can clear stacks like a mother.
5
So
seconds remaining.
it can work. Still, Gyro has to farm up a BKB, and Alliance can fight before that, and that will be a kind of a weak window for them where they're going to need to rely on the Brew split, maybe just split pushing the map and
Prepare
finding
for battle.
pickoffs.
yeah.
Could be a bit tricky.
Well, we'll see how it works out here. So, okay, what happened to my minimap icons, LD?
You don't have hero icons.
How do I get them back? Where'd they go?
Is that? I don't even think that's a setting. The no icon strat.
That's
gonna be a problem. You may need to reconnect.
I think that's what we're gonna need to do here. Okay.
What the hell?
I don't think I've ever had this issue. All right, that's gonna make this game
Dota 2, please.
All right, so we're gonna pop to a white screen here, folks, very quickly. Sorry about that. While I disconnect and reset my Dota. That's really odd. I don't think that's ever happened to me before.
I've never seen that. I've actually never seen that. Well, hopefully we don't miss a first blood.
Yeah, hopefully not.
It's okay.
Well, even if we were in game, there's a good chance we would have missed it anyway.
Yeah, with no minimap.
You can't see the minimap.
Dota 2 drunk. It's too early, Dota 2. How can you be drinking at 1:30 in the afternoon?
Now let's see here. Dota minimap, hero size. I like the 900. Let's try the reconnect. Been cheating on Dazzle with my Timbersaw load screen.
Okay. Do you actually pick one? I always have it on rotation.
I usually pick one. Yeah, I usually leave it on Dazzle. I'm not a big loading screen guy. I only have a couple. This one I just got out of one of the Summit chests. So.
Watch there be like a massive team fight, like 10 deaths already.
Uh-oh. Dota, please have.
All right, we have minimap icons.
Yeah.
Just the first one.
God damn it. Great. All right.
Well, that's it. Not too bad. Skywrath on the run now.
So Brewmaster, he was the victim. Uh-oh, could it be another J4? He gets stunned up. Minut's trying to chase him down. And no, it looks like it'll just be that first blood. So Brew got taken out. Who got the kill? It was actually the Lion. So Minuts, and everyone's got derpy names now that I've reconnected, but Minuts will be the victor of that extra. Looks like everyone else having issues here. Loda's going to have to reconnect also. Okay.
Well, good start. Who actually got the first blood?
It was the Lion.
The Lion. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
That's actually pretty scary. Lion, going for the boots first. This has been really common on Lion picks, I would say, particularly as of late. We've seen it a lot from Fogged. The thing with the boots first Lion is it makes him a lot better of a zoning support because he has low armor, right? So you don't have to trade against melees in the off lane, but especially against melees, I think it's effective. It's also good if you want to roam, and with a Chen Lion duo, they have that option. So I like the boots first in Lion. I think we'll continue to see it, and it of course does come a bit at the cost of Ake, but getting the first blood will put them in good shape.
Certainly. So off lane here, it'll be the Tide Hunter. Let's see, this is I would bet this is probably private, but we can check anyway. Yep. How would you know? I'm pretty sure that's EGM here on the Tide Hunter.
Yeah, unless we're being trolled.
Unless we're being trolled pretty hard, but yeah, you never know. There, look at that. Rock's Kiss Yol. All right.
There's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Safe lane, it'll be Pycat once again here on the Storm Spirit. So Radiant side, we've got Ditira on the Gyro. No surprise there. Seneko, he'll take the Wisp. Looks like they'll do a 2-1-2. Shotchlow mid on the Brew, and that puts J4 on the Skywrath. And that leaves Cheshire Cat here for the off lane. Nature's Prophet. Let's see, probably J4 roam around a bit. So, all right.
We're going to run the Troll mid. Troll of strong mid, uses Bottle Crowell. Pretty tanky and difficult to gank when he's in melee form. Not easy to lane against Brewmaster. In range form, the Troll doesn't have the best damage, and in melee, of course, you get clapped and stuff. So I would expect to see Shadeshlow do pretty well, but that's where Alliance getting the first blood. Shadeshlow, not off to the hottest start, will help them out.
Yep. Looks like J4 will stay up in the top lane to try and make something happen for this Nature's Prophet, so he's not relegated to the jungle out of the gate. They're at least having some presence in the lane here, so Podcat's not just soaking up the free farm. My nuts. Trying to use those boots to zone him out, but it's a tall order.
Well, off lane for Alliance will be the Tide Hunter, so you can expect to see EGM just going for some ancient stacks when he's not able to get into the lane. Wisp, not very good at zoning out Tide Hunter on his own, though. He will definitely need the help of the Gyro. And I don't know if we mentioned it yet, but the Gyro boots first can be very good against Tide. Of course, Tide went for his own boots, so
yeah.
EGM, I think, with a smart item choice here, but they're still going to try and chase him.
Yeah, Gyro, one of the best
427
heroes
move speed
in this kind of scenario because of the Rocket Barrage. Mr. Potato, EGM could be in some trouble. Ditira kind of getting stuck in the fog there. EGM makes it back to the tower, and they won't pursue into it, but
Get
very
out of my
close
lane.
call. Yeah.
Man, that's some commitment. I like that play, though. Just keep him out of lane, send him back to Fountain. You also will prevent EGM from stacking, and he'll have to go grab his TP.
Loda thinking about this rune here, throws out some whirling axes, but the Barrel of Laughs hit him. J4 slows him down. Cheshire Cat teleports in, trying to get some body blocks going. No high ground for you, Loda. He's on the run, makes it back to the tower. Will they dive it to pursue? It looks like it. Shotchlow wants this. He's got a clap, but he can't find it, and Loda will live.
That blind on the axes does so much work. And the other thing is Troll has quite good armor. So very tanky, difficult to bring down, as we will have a bit of a skirmish at the top. Bruin, it looks like. Invis is there, but the two-hero impale comes out for my nuts. They can't get the follow-up kill.
Yeah, still not enough to stop Shochlo from grabbing the Ruin. He'll fill up the bottle. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Zyori getting aggressive on EGM once more. Looking for that rocket barrage. Does commit a second point to it.
The good thing for EGM is the lane got pushed in super hard, so he's still going to get a lot of experience out of this. Level 3 about to come out.
Yeah. Not too bad. Ancients still haven't been stacked up yet, but they haven't been blocked, so that's the big thing. That
Anchor Smash is the bane of the Wisp's existence. You definitely... Ideal scenario is the gyro's next to the Tide, the Wisp is far back, and yeah, you can just see these little plinks. Fortunately, there's no Stout on Tidehunter, so they actually do add up, but...
Yeah, for now at least.
He's leveling the Kraken Shell, and Aki will make his move. This is the big change with Chen now. You can have the 2 creeps at level 3, and you can make a ton of early plays, and they want to do just that. This Wisp in all kinds of trouble.
Yep, trying to bait it out. Seneko, oh boy. That's an easy little Centaur stun, and good rotation from Ake. There you go, makes it 2-0, and Alliance pull further into the lead.
Wisp definitely one of those heroes you want to pressure early on in the lane, and meanwhile, you can see Lodo taking the fight to Shadeshlow. Force to skill up that Drunken Haze.
Yeah, meanwhile, Cheshire Cat could be in some trouble. Looking for the sandwich. My nuts can't quite get in range for the Earth Spike. And Cheshire Cat will head back.
This troll pick is really working out nicely against the Brew mid. Couldn't get the kill earlier. The evasion very helpful against the guaranteed, well, normally guaranteed crits from the Brew. And just the general high armor pool as well. And on top of that, he wasn't even the one who got the first blood. It was the Lion. So we have seen teams getting a lot better at dealing with Brewmasters in general, I would say. And I think the Troll is towards the top of that list of heroes that, I wouldn't say counter him per se, but are just very good against him in lane.
Yeah, I mean, if you can keep the Brew from balling out of control and just kind of keep him under control if he's not in your face, and you've kind of already achieved a victory there. We'll see another kill onto the Wisp as the Chen creeps do a lot of the work, and old Potato comes in with an Anchor Smash to make it happen. Now Shochlo joining the party. Ake will be in an odd sandwich here. Does what damage he can before
get
going
the
down.
Creeps too.
Yeah, Zyori will get another pick-me-up, and Rocket Barrage used to make sure he gets this Centaur.
That's a big loss. They've been putting a lot of pressure on the Wisp. Just losing the Chen, not the biggest deal, but then losing both creeps as well to the Gyro gives him his phase boots. Big item to pick up, obviously, on Gyro and actually the makings of the drums as well. So with that, he will be moving at basically max move speed, especially when he pops a drum charge, and going to be difficult to run away from him if you're this Tide.
Very well-rounded Gyro build, no surprise about it, but hey, it's popular for a reason. Lion only level 2, but has at least picked up his Tranquil boots. Pycat's been pretty quiet so far, and just keeping up on CS with that Gyro. Hasn't had complete free farm, but just getting his bearings about him, going for those power treads, and probably into a well-timed Orchid.
It's very important that the Storm gets farmed this game. It's generally a hero that needs farm, but if he's not farmed, Wisp and Prophet can do whatever they want. Pycat needs to be able to find solo kills later on, so making sure they secure his farm and then the Lion Blink, I would say, those are the two big things to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think Alliance need to just kind of, in general, abide by the Orchid timing, assuming that's the item Pycat will go by. If he can get it by like 15 minutes, then they can start fighting, moving around, and grab a lot of momentum. Until then, a little more about just minimizing your losses, not letting the Brewmaster get any undue farm, and same with the Gyro. We'll see a rotation towards the mid as Shochlo gets sandwiched on. Ake on the high ground, beautiful positioning here. He will use the Primal Split. That keeps him alive for now. Loda could be in trouble, but it's Cheshire Cat that teleports in. Potatoes right there, but not level 6. Oh no! No Ravage. Loda will fall. The Hadouken doing what damage it can, but it will just be a 1-0 as Shochlo goes back into Panda form. Low on health, low on mana. Ake's here to try and finish him down. They'll
Can't
get the kill
do
on
it.
the Wisp
They
on
lost
the
their
other
Wisp.
side, and Shochlo will live. So it's a 1-for-1, but slight advantage there for the Power Rangers.
Yeah, slight advantage, but they did commit a Brew Split. So let's see. It's Tidehunter Ravage close.
About halfway there.
There will be a slight window where they might be able to use it, but realistically, EGM, no Blink yet. They do have other good initiators though, so maybe they find a solo kill or something with this Ravage, but Alliance, I think still in okay shape here. Running the Troll as well, you've always got the Roche threat, they have Gush minus armor for that, the Chen's good in the pit, so even if Alliance do fall behind, they can come back very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, even just forcing the Brew to use your first split defensively, that's not really the way that he wanted to have that first thing come about. Making it a 1-for-1, yeah, you trade your support for a core, but That's not the kind of tempo controlling that's going to get Brew a really fast Blink Dagger. We're 7 minutes in, and he's only halfway there.
Whereas EGM is almost as close in the offlane. Oh no, he did go back for the arcane boots. Generally, that's what you'd see, but
yeah,
he saved up like 1,400 gold first.
Ake is just unrelenting here in the mid, putting a lot of pressure on the Brew, and even if it's not him, he's still rotating creeps over, harassing with the Hadoukens as much as he can, staying very active, as we have come to expect from Ake on a Chen.
You gotta have more gusto when you say Hadouken. It's Hadouken! Not like Hadouken.
No
you make it sound like a donut or something.
J4
I'll have a nice warm piping hot Hadouken, please. Give me one of those.
Oh, God. Well, Pycat's starting to get a little momentum now, picks up his first kill. Meanwhile, in the river, Ake bumps right into Cheshire Cat, stops him dead in his tracks.
Pycat's a snowball.
Yeah, that's a
nice play there
stop.
by Lions. Just giving him the freebie. Orchid coming fast. I mean, maybe we see something like a Bloodstone. I don't think he... BKB is pretty decent against Storm, but I would expect that Orchid. And yeah, he's got the Sobi mask here, so
yeah,
we'll see a fairly fast Orchid.
Yeah, at this timing, I mean, I think you could get it pre-15 minutes, which is definitely not so shabby. It's an even farm fest for the two position ones. Both now the Storm and the Gyro have picked up a couple of kills. Well, just one on the Gyro. He now has the drums complete. What's coming out on the Courier? All right, that's not for him. Just some gauntlets there.
That's a sad-looking Courier.
Yeah, probably looking for his BKB next, I think, for Dityara.
Yeah, he's going to need BKB up against Lion, Finger, Hex, Impale, Storm with Orchid probably on the way, Tidehunter. You need BKB, but Alliance are pretty good at kiting and baiting that out because of the Storm pick. So he's going to have to be very judicious with when he uses it.
Yeah, Cheshire Cat in double null tally territory here with Nature's Prophet. What item build will we go for? Back for the Midas, into the Blade Mail. A lot of options here. Still pretty ambiguous. Just trying to get that baseline of farm and we'll at least get himself 6 off these Mud Golems.
Yeah, his item choice is probably the biggest determinant of what approach they want to take. Gyro to some extent, but going phase drums, you generally see that build when you want to fight fairly early. If you want to go for more of like a hard farming late game, more often not, you'll see the Dominator rush. Once in a while, we'll see Midas Gyro, though. That has not been very common as of late. Gyro hasn't been common as of late.
I feel like the only time I see Midas Gyro is if they get like a first blood and Gyro gets the kill before creep spawn. You can get it in like 5 minutes, and it's like, why not?
You know who likes it is Silent. Silent from Empire.
Yeah.
He's I think the main player that I've seen go for it, but.
He's like the main player still playing Gyro.
He is a Gyro master.
EGM. He does have a Ravage this time. He'll use it. Connects on 2. Shotchlo.
Got double Centaurs.
Yep, Shotchlo trying to get off the split. The Potato's still alive. Oh my gosh. They will finish off with the Wisp Balls. Nicely done, but a Primal Split's been used here, and they might not be able to get too much out of it. They hit the kill on the Tidehunter, but not because of the
Storm's looking to maybe jump in here. Can he get an opening? Pycat is going to go for the big ball lightning down to the south. Huge zip in onto J4. Gets the quick kill, and he even goes for more.
Is he hungry for more? Cheshire Cat's nearby. Shotchlo back into Brew form. Will get tethered up, and yeah, now Pycat forced
to chase this.
And there's the teleport in from Cheshire Cat. The Sprout and Pycat will be put to sleep. Now Loda reinitiating here. Whirling Axes come flying out. Wants the Wisp and may be able to find it in an uphill miss. Not going to be what he's looking for. They have a Delta split and goes for the Nature's Prophet. He does not have a teleportation here. Will go into the Roche Pit looking for a deny, and it's looking like that won't happen. Troll Warlord gets the kill there. A couple of calldowns from Dityara does some decent damage. Gets the kill on Ake. Trying to clear up these Chen creeps best he can. They will take down EGM. It's Power Rangers coming out ahead on this fight. The homing missile chasing down Loda. He will get stunned up, but makes it into the tower range and will be A-okay.
Well, hanging on. That was a pretty big jump in from Pycat. Is it going to be the same story this time? He jumps in. He's got a little more to retreat with, and there's less follow-up potential here.
Okay, that little recovery kill does sort of tip the scales a bit. Gives Alliance a slight edge, perhaps, and just glancing at the graph. Not bad for PR, but Alliance with the cleanup. And, wow, thought they might try to go in again onto Dityara, but no.
Jumping the Gyro does not... The thing is, you go for the drums early, and he's pretty tanky, actually. Like, they need to catch him out with a lot of follow-up. Finger being a good option, maybe a big test of faith. Still, overall, I think if you're PR, you're pretty happy. You haven't given up any towers just yet. Your Gyro's still farming well. Pycat died. He's farming, but he's not out of control. He's going to have a fast Orchid at this rate, though, as he will complete the first Oblivion Staff, so as expected, not going to be going for a Bloodstone early. Orchid Rush just seems to be so good, and against Brew, it's really nice as well. Prevent the split, also just burst down the Wisp, prevent those defensive relocates.
Yeah.
This is strong.
Cheshire Cat. Going to be an easy pick here. Looks like there's another kill going about simultaneously in the mid lane. Yep, they'll get the kill on Loda despite the all heal from Chen coming out. They get the counter kill now on Wisp. Pycat locked down, silenced, and put 6 feet under. A 2-for-2 around the map. But Alliance...
2 cores, though.
Yeah,
for a Wisp
really
and an off-lane Prophet. That's a big win for PR there. In good news, they don't transition that well, like as a lineup. If Alliance get 2 kills on cores and are in position with the Chen creeps and Troll, you get push. But PR, pretty
couple
slow.
of options.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, there is a Blink Dagger up on Shotchlo, so decent time for the Brew despite the kind of slow start. Does have another Primal Split available. Seneko is level 6. Looks like that relocate is what kind of caught him off guard in the mid. With that exchange, Dityara will pull into first place in terms of net worth. He is also level 11 with a Yasha, so not going for that fast BKB. Shotchlo goes in, uses the Primal Split straight away. There is a Ravage. They'll try to isolate the Tide so he can't get off the Ravage. He's looking for Lion, the first to fall before he can finger. EGM back down to planet Earth. Will he ravage this? Yes, he will. Connects on 4. Is there follow-up damage? In comes the zip from Pycat. They will pay with their Tide Hunter, but Skywrath goes down first. Dityara, a few auto attacks will bring him down, but Pycat getting low on mana. Maybe biting off more than he can chew. Rinse and repeat. History shall repeat itself here, LD, as Power Rangers take another team fight.
He was eyeing the Wisp, and then he went for the much more difficult kill. Goes for the Gyro, but that leaves the Wisp free to tether to help keep the Gyro alive with overcharge and just popping bottle charges. Costly mistake. Pycat now 3 deaths in a row. And he's gotten a kill here or there, but as a Storm, especially going for, well, just basically in general, unless you're going like BKB Rush or something, you need to get clean kills. It's better to not die than go 1 for 1, even if you don't get anything.
Shotchlo will get stunned up in the bottom. There's the finger. That secures that one. But PR, they're not done quite yet. They will finish off the tower. Gets killed by Radiant as Loda tries to repel with the whirling axes. You know, a little sloppy, but Dityara, man, he's overtaken the Storm by a good bit on that net worth now, and will start looking towards the BKB.
They still have answers for BKB. They have Blink Hex. That's going to be the main thing. Is Lion anywhere near Hex up to 3.2k gold? He is close.
Yeah, he's getting there.
My nuts are having a good time right now, and I think that's a big item for them. Get the blink on my nuts. He can initiate. Let the Storm be a little more selective. They need to get the Orchid out though. That is the way that they've drafted, giving Storm safe lane farm, running a Troll mid who's more of a utility hero, not like a 1-position carry. Also, just in general, doesn't do that much alone. Like, he can push, but he's not pushing alone because he'll just get jumped, right? He needs his team there to take advantage of the ultimate. They don't split push around the Troll that well. Storm's good, but the rest of them aren't fantastic. So, getting the Orchid, objective number 1.
Speaking of Orchids, though, Cheshire Cat's working on one for this Nature's Prophet. So, going for a little more combative, beefing up those right clicks, and giving you some more utility to try and lock someone down. Great item against the Storm Spirit, especially when you know he's not going BKB first item. He's already committed to the Orchid, so...
It's going to be a fairly similar time for Cheshire Cat. That is...
Yeah, that's scary.
At that point, you're up against the Skywrath Silence, which we saw at the top rune earlier, right when he was about to zip out, got silenced and died. Orchid, as well as that, you may maybe even get a Shadow Blade on Cheshire Cat. He needs Orchid. Now Pycat's in a situation where because he's not snowballed, died 3 times, he needs Orchid and BKB. Bottom lane, though, there's Relocate. They jump in, finish off the Storm, another death. It's the Skywrath Mage Silence doing the work, and they're going to go right back to top, take the tower here as well. And
tower's already gone down. I think they may try to just make this 2 and see how Alliance are going to react. Storm's their big defender.
They have Brew Split. Dityara, does he have BKB yet? I don't think so, but the Gyro's pretty close. They may want to wait for the Gyro BKB to force a tier 2, but honestly, they might be able to take it without it. They're pretty tanky.
Yeah. Ravage is available, so that is something they'll need to be a little bit cautious about. What's Ake doing in terms of item progression? Just Arcane Boots, Basilius.
They're going to run into someone here, though. Your Skywrath about to get caught out. J4. Oh, maybe not. Concussive shot.
Buys him some time, but Loda... He's speedy. He's got the phase boots, and he knows that he's low on mana. Oh, the path block from the creeps, the saboteurs. Loda will get stuck inside of the trees. The axes won't be able to cut him down. Still trying to pursue here. Ake following up. There are the creeps. There are the stuns. And Cheshire Cat. Oh my gosh, the damage that Chen can do.
Oh, that's a big gyro ult. Connects on 2, brings them low. They now jump Dityara. They're going to commit heavily. They get him with the finger. That's the way you need to start these fights. Bring down the gyro or the brew immediately.
But the split has been deployed.
What a win for Alliance. The brew split's down. They might even think about Roche. With Brew split down, Gyro dead, Normally you would not go for it with that tier 1 up bottom, but let's see. They're kind of milling around. I don't know if they do it quickly enough, though. I don't think they have a medallion yet.
I don't believe so. No.
Yeah, I think if you have medallion here, you could just go for it. Having Ravage, there's no Bruce Split, but without it, it probably takes too long.
I'll have to settle for this tier 1 tower instead. 2 key items picked up off the back end of that successful skirmish. It'll be EGM with a blink on the Tide. Also finds his level 11 to get that second point in Ravage. And it is a Vladimir's offering on the Troll. So just hanging on to a casual Ogre Club for now.
Radiant's
some
bottom
extra HP.
tower is under attack.
Now they could look towards Roche very easily with that Lifesteal Aura. Also an invisibility rune in the bottle of Loda if he wants to try something cheeky. And yep, there you go. Looks like that's what they were waiting for.
Great Roche lineup.
Split down for another 70.
If PR has split, they can take this fight. With Gyro very strong around the pit, but with no BKB on Gyro just yet, unless he just picked it up, and no Bruce Split, I don't think you contest this.
Yeah.
So they should just split push. They can still take fights against Alliance, but giving away an Aegis to Storm is always costly. I think most people agree, bar none, the best Aegis carry in the game. If not the best, definitely on the very short list.
Yeah,
uses everything the Aegis gives him well.
Easy top 2, top 3.
Yeah, spells have basically no cooldown. The mana, having full mana is amazing on Storm. He tends to use it like crazy.
Big fight breaking out here. Tether on the Zyori gets turned into a fish. First to go down will be the Lion. Ake taking a lot of damage from the Rocket Barrage as well. Zyori will now get caught by the Ravage. Pycat had to burn the Aegis. Comes right back up, and now the cleanup starts. Or does it? This Gyro deceptively tanky. A 2 for 2, and Alliance lost the Aegis.
And the Radiant Courier sniped by the Troll on the backside. Loda going in for the wraparound, and nothing on the Radiant Courier. I think it had just delivered something.
Yeah, it was empty.
Can we look at items real quick?
Was it the point booster on the Wisp, possibly?
Yeah, interesting pickup. Just once the raw HP to survive the burst.
Yeah,
I think more than anything.
I mean, a reasonable choice. A sort of a blast from the past. You see people just pick up casual point boosters all the time.
It's definitely a value item.
Yeah.
I think BKB Rush would also be a decent choice for Wisp. Just to... Because the thing is, like, how's she going to die in the fights? Pretty much finger Ravage. That's the main way. Maybe, or Storm Jumping, or BKB addresses all of that. So I honestly would not be surprised if our Wisp goes back for that fairly soon. But
yeah, now the BKB is up on the Gyro. Zyori still topping the net worth chart right now with that casual Yasha. Smoke from Alliance, and heyo, that's an Orchid up on Pycat. So this is the big window. You need to make some kills happen with this item. Shotchla will get hexed as Minut shows off that Blink Dagger, and well, an easy pick on the Brewmaster. Pycat takes a lot of damage in return, but
they're chasing. I think Tide has a blink in just a few seconds. J4 could be in trouble. They have a gyrocopter on the low ground. The double blink comes in. Impale off the mark. That's going to prompt a call down turnaround. This could be bad. My nuts getting absolutely just ravaged and destroyed. Brought down easily. Not the actual Ravage, though. Okay, also trapped in the trees. TP out. Not going to happen. A costly whiffed Impale, but even then, that was a pretty risky play by Alliance.
Yeah, it's really a 1 for 3, though the chart doesn't show it properly here. It was a good kill on the Brew, and if they had just cut their losses and backed out after that...
No losses at that
point. Yeah, no losses, just cut the victory, you know, back up and go back to farming would have been great. Pycat survives. I guess that's really the one piece of victory there for Alliance, that he gets a little extra momentum under his belt. Yeah. But same goes for the Gyro, who's now even further ahead.
It just really sucks for Pycat that he lost the Aegis so quickly. But
yeah.
What can you do? Sometimes you just have to use it to try and take these fights. And
yeah,
if you're Alliance now with no Aegis, you just got to keep on going for the pickoffs. Whereas I think PR, they can do a mixture of farming or pushing. It's just a matter of getting the lanes out. But going off on your own is a bit risky for them. Storm plus Lion can take down pretty much any hero.
Why not? He'll go off on his own here. Gets hit by a clap. The Ancient Seal's there, and they might be able to bring him down and relocate him.
Finish my nuts! Come on!
Oh, Minuts lives. The all-heal from Channel keep him alive, but not for too long. Skywrath goes down first. Now Pycat on the back foot.
They got a Bruce Split. Oh no, he clapped instead. No mana.
Yep, now he's dry. EGM does have a Ravage here. Won't use it to try and save Ake. It's a 1 for 2 trade. PR may actually look for an objective off this one as they do stay in the lane.
That Rocket following the Storm all the way back to the well. I think it got killed off by the Tidehunter. But now with Storm back at the well, 2 supports dead, no buybacks, they should be able to at least threaten this tower. And they still have Bruce Split.
Yeah.
Will he be able to get it off? That's really going to be the key.
It's been a very back and forth game. PR grabbing the most recent bout of momentum here. 3,300 gold up on this gyrocopter.
Dire's middle tower is under
Zyori's
attack.
getting to that That scary point. I would usually say this is the stage in the game where Gyro is a little susceptible, like right before he gets that BKB, but he's kind of past that big hurdle. 9, 2, and 7. And so active in all these fights.
It really was the right pick. Given what was available in the pool, I mean, I mentioned Gyro mainly because he's very good at deep pushing, but he's also good at fighting early, and that's what they needed, was a hero that can do both. Deep push and take big team fights.
Long ball lightning here from Pycat, trying to bring down J4, but Wisp just healing him up so much. Now Pycat out of mana, silent, stunned, and taken down. A bit too aggressive there and just underestimating the amount of sustainability.
He needs a BKB.
Oh my gosh.
The thing is, he's just not farming very well.
Yeah, and now EGM, he's going to get caught, will try and TP home, and he will succeed. But this tower may not survive.
They're going to push in.
This is starting to feel a little scary for Alliance. I thought they had this.
They're not the best defensive lineup, is the other thing. Troll isn't a great defender. Chen is a pretty awful defender, unless you get some ridiculous creep movements. But at this stage of the game, creeps just mount to flat cannon. Or begin to.
I mean, look at
Lion can be a good defender. Ty can be. They're having trouble bursting heroes as well. Like when we've seen the win fights is when they get the clean blink hex, finger, storm jumps in with the orchid somewhere during that time, and instantly like Brew's dead, Wisp is dead. But everybody on PR is now getting tanky. We talked about the point booster. Prophet's still a bit squishy, but not the hero you want to be focusing. Brew almost has the. I'm trying to knock down our studio here, apparently. Almost has the Ogre Clubber point booster, so he'll become more difficult to kill. They can win fights, but it's got to be like Brew dies off the bat. Gyro, and the tough thing is there's the defensive relocate from Suniko to worry about, so
yeah,
not easy to get these kills and take a clean fight.
Like right now I look at this Alliance roster and just look at their item progression, their scary heroes, and it's supposed to be the Storm that is the big intimidating force. You see him and you just want to run away, but Pycat's 7, 5, and 5, and his current item set is just not really that scary, and now Dityaraz like 50% up on him in terms of net worth. If you can't solo kill, well, not really solo, but you can't find a pickoff on the Skywrath Mage when there's somebody nearby, that's an issue.
They just have a great lineup to deal with Storm. The Skywrath pick is nice, and the big thing I think is getting that Orchid on the Nature's Prophet. If he were snowballing, though, if the Storm was ahead, they would not be very good at dealing with him. But they now have Blink Orchid. This is before the BKB. Until he gets BKB, Pycat needs to play very carefully.
And he is not that far away.
He's got the Mithril Armor.
Got a recipe out. So it'll come sooner rather than later if PR don't get too aggressive.
Alliance still have pretty good late game, though. They have double Ravage eventually, although, as you can see, EGM's got a ways to go to farm that. Send back shenanigans are really nice with the Storm, where he can jump in, you send him back as he's jumping, and maybe just kill off the Wisp. So late game, you can just find easy, like completely safe kills that way. But this is looking forward 15, 20 minutes.
Relocate down bottom. They'll try and make something happen here. Rocket Barrage intercepted by the creeps. Now the homing missile will chase down my nuts. Ditya with a lot of movement speed might be able to find a kill off this. The rocket mixed with the Wisp balls, not enough. As he gets sent back to the well. Oh boy!
Get ready for the boink. Is it coming?
I'm not sure. I've lost track of it. Oh, there it is.
No boink.
Down he goes. So, Pycat coming in, wants to catch the Prophet, but a blink back from Cheshire Cat keeps him safe and sound.
Still, Wisp Dota, immediately going to push top.
And
Alliance do struggle for mobility outside of the Storm.
25-minute MKB on this Gyro. Ditya showing off all that farm he's picked up, and now this is really scary. I mean, he's hitting hard, and now they don't have that. Well, no, MKB, I was thinking, like, is there any evasion? No, okay, I guess the blind from Troll, not something we'll have to worry about, though, with the BKB.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's the main reason you got MKB here. It's nobody on Alliance generally will build evasion. They could maybe get a Halberd on Troll, but I mean, still, you've got the BKB to
and MKB's not just about the True Strike. It's also just a great damage item. It gives you a huge amount of damage output. Great on Gyro, so...
There was a period where nobody would ever build Daedalus because MKB was just too good. And I think it was a while ago, but I believe MKB got nerfed a little bit, and more importantly, Daedalus got some buffs. So
yeah,
it's been a while, but
well, things have definitely slowed down a little. PR have taken out all the outer towers now, and Alliance just... It feels like they don't quite have a good game plan. I guess get the BKB on Storm is the immediate... This is what we need to do in the immediate future, but where do you go from here? They'll smoke up and, I guess, look for a gank.
Roche is respawning soon. Man, it would be nice for them if they could just walk into the pit and sneak it, but with Prophet, he should be constantly looking to scout the pit with Treants, do they have one in the pit currently for the Radiant side?
They do not. And Roche does get pinged out by Loda.
And they might actually get there. They might get there a bit too early, actually. Let's see.
Pretty close to the respawn. They're doing this very cautiously. They'll send my nuts in to try and scout it out.
Good expeditionary force.
Yeah.
But they'll back off.
I don't think they actually walked into the pit, though.
Do they have any more smokes now on the side of Alliance, or are they out?
Let's take a look here. Hit the shop, and they are out.
Anything in the inventory, or?
Looking for me?
Let's see here. I see no smokes.
Okay,
So
so
they're out of smokes.
that's going to put them in a very awkward... Oh, relocate coming. They're going to look to take a fight. Ravage was waiting, though. He did not BKB. Oh, now he gets it off and looks to turn it with the call down. He's driving the entirety back. They bring down a lot of heroes. Loda on the chase, but that's a BKB gyro. Difficult to slow or control him. Blinky forward is your tide. Finally, the Storm with the gigantic zip on forward. Pulls in Zyori, gets the counter kill. Now BKBing as well to fight their way through this Brewmaster split. And now they got to back off.
Yeah, Brew trying to make it out. J4 isolated on the backside, and it will be Alliance that come out pretty far ahead in this fight.
That was a super ballsy relocate. Oh my
There was
goodness.
a buyback used on the Lions, so not quite as bad as it seems like. It's a 2 for 3 if you count the buyback. Still a good fight for Alliance, but that gyro just showing how much damage he did. That was like literally gyro versus the team for a fair portion of that fight. Oh my
He's very
gosh.
strong when he's BKB.
Yeah.
But as soon as it wears off, you can see they just deal with him. And they've just given Alliance a freebie Roche, where probably PR don't realize it, but they didn't have any smoke. So if they wanted to walk in a Roche, they were just going to have to walk in.
Yeah.
And PR have had good map control. They have Trance who can scout the pit. That's a big swing. Alliance with the Aegis now, going to go to the Storm again, I imagine.
Roshan has
Pycat
fallen
with the
to the
completed
dark.
BKB Orchid, and it's when you get that next item that Storm starts to get really scary. Be it like your Hex, go back for a Bloodstone. He's got the Soul Ring, so he certainly could. Pycat will become a problem if they aren't careful with their next few fights.
Yeah, and speaking of Bloodstones, look at this Wisp. He's got a Soul Booster and a Soul Ring already.
Yeah,
This guy.
Bloodstone Wisp incoming.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. And when you die,
You
have an extra heal.
I mean, who needs Satanic now, right? You've got the I died for your sins Wisp. Just
Yeah.
when you're about to die, just suicide. Give the huge heal.
There's no funny mechanic with tether and the suicide heal, right? There's no thing where like your heal goes out before the tether breaks or something. It's just like I was thinking you could do like a double heal with the tether.
I
with
think
the
you
suicide.
get the double. I'm not actually positive. I believe you get the double heal.
I'm not sure. It's not very often I see Wisps with enough money to farm up a Bloodstone. So this is
definitely a happy Sneeko right now. I've seen some poor Wisps recently. I who was it for? We saw the tiny Wisp in the American qualifiers, and there were Wisps running around with like boots, bottle, magic stick, and like the makings of treads at like 20 minutes, 23 minutes.
Yeah.
This is not that type of Wisp. This is a farming Wisp.
This is not your everyday Wisp. BKB on the way for the Brewmaster, about halfway to the recipe. And Mr. EGM not that far away from the refresher now, working on that Ring of Health, but well, making steps in the right direction. 30 minutes in, 22-22. We've got a pretty even game on our hands here. PR with a very minor gold lead, still this hugely farmed gyro, and whoa, they're going to bump right into him. My Nuts and Pycat. My Nuts will get left behind as Pycat zips out. And, well, Lion tries to blink. Demon Witch will be put down. Cheshire Cat gets another one up on the scoreboard.
They do save the Storm, though. That's important. And they'll look to push, PR. There's no tier 2 here. Do they want to try and go high ground? It's up against an Aegis Storm. That is extremely risky.
Yeah, still.
But they may be feeling like they're starting to run a bit out of steam. Zyori's BKB
Radiant's
is wearing
bottom
off. They've
tower
gone
is
for more
under
mid-game
attack.
items with the
Radiant
Orchid
structures
rush
are
on the
fortified.
Nature's Prophet.
Dire's
Shadeslow
top tower is under
going
attack.
for
Wow.
the Vlad's BKB, it looks like.
I mean, they know Lion doesn't
Radiant's
have a
bottom
buyback
tower
here.
has
They saw him burn
fallen.
it in the last fight. They force out a glyph very easily, get about half damage into the tower before Lion's get in a good position to defend. They know that there's a Ravage, and a nice little play from Power Rangers. Call that a victory. Force Lions back to their base. No casualties, and there you go, Wisp with the Bloodstone.
Bloodstone Wisp, man. That's a lot of farm.
Oh boy, what's his net worth? Yeah, he's just farming well. It's not like
He's even
crazy,
with the
crazy.
enemy Tidehunter as a support
What?
Wisp. That is partially because EGM has not gotten very much farm this game, but also just that's a lot of farm for a Wisp.
Yeah. Brian just said nah in chat, so I don't know if that's a reply to the whole double heal thing with the Wisp tether. It's one of those good stats man mechanics.
Just a casual soul
Just a
boost.
casual
He's
nah.
trolling the
Yeah.
BKB coming for... But yeah, as big as the gyro is, gyro generally can be kited pretty well, and that's where the hero does struggle. So I think you have to be careful about letting this go late if you're PR. They have the Wisp Prophet combo, but Storm and Lion are just so good at punishing that type of split push.
And that's one thing that PR are lacking right now with the gyro is a huge teamfight disable. If they had like a Void or a Ravage or something like that, and Dityara could sit back and get a couple seconds of just huge flat cannon, that's one thing. But outside of like the clap, they don't really have too much in terms of team fights to get those huge flat cannons and stop Alliance from just running away from the gyro like you were talking about.
Radiant's top
And
tower
it looks
is
like
under
he
attack.
will move into probably
Radiant
a butterfly.
structures are
Coming up
fortified.
before too long here. Loda maybe forcing an MKB, though he picks
Radiant's
up a
top
Sanj.
tower has fallen.
Yeah, just needs to get maybe even goes Halberd here, but could be Sanji Yasha. It's a little bit late for SNY. I would say generally when you see it, it's kind of a rushed item. But
I would have thought MKB would be a natural next choice.
the disarm will still be good though, right? Because you can't rebuy BKB anymore. Skyreth Mage getting picked off top lane by our Storm. And as the game goes on, these supports are just never. Wisp is generally
Radiant's
near an ally
top
anyway,
tower is
but
under attack.
Skywrath cannot go off on his own. Shadeslow can for now, but there will come a point where Storm is a Hex, and at that point, he probably can't go off on his own either.
Yeah.
If you just get insta Hex, might not even be able to pop your BKB. Hex for 2.5, then pulled by the Electric Vortex for longer.
Okay.
It's going to be Bloodstone for now.
Yeah, he goes the Bloodstone route, very close to it. Just trying to get some raw HP. I think this is probably the smarter way to do it. He only has 1,300 hit points at this stage. And yeah, Soul Booster will turn that around.
It's a great late game item on Storm, one of the very best. You get a bunch of Bloodstone charges, you have an Aegis as well. You end up with 3-4 lives in a fight effectively. Aegis, the instant Bloodstone respawn, then a buyback to boot.
That'll be the end.
It makes it very difficult to end the game and break the base against the Storm.
Yeah.
Because remember, once Gyro's BKB wears off, he's very vulnerable. Even if he gets a Satanic, they just have so many disables.
I will say, Dityara's been very conservative with his BKB. It's still at 8 seconds, which, considering how quickly he got the item and how much farming he's done,
That is crucial.
that's pretty good.
Like, the next two BKB charges, very important. And wasting those for little gain could really cost them.
Yep. So the Nature's Prophet, he'll be looking towards a Hex most likely. Not that far away, just about a Void Stone off. And,
Touché!
yeah, everyone's still just farming around. It's going to be a while before Roche comes up. The Aegis did
Where's
just
the party?
despawn as Pycat picks up his 8-charge Bloodstone. Double damage rune in the bottom, but Power Rangers are making movements towards the top. This is kind of a... They're pushing in pretty deep, but I don't think you really just want to kind of
They
go
can
high
TP
ground.
the Prophet.
Yeah.
Dire's
They don't
top
have a
tower
great
is
way
under
to
attack.
just instantly get a kill, right? Does the Prophet have Hex yet? I don't think so.
No, he does not.
No Hex. No Hex on the Prophets. They don't have the instant Blink initiation. There's BKB. No, in Storm, Chen's a good defensive support. Lion's going to be sitting back. Tide, you don't want to go on. There's no easy, clean way to just kill a hero, like, we'll say, a Blink Doom or a global Storm Zip in for PR. They don't have anything like that. So it makes it very dicey to go up high ground, and then that's before you factor in the Bloodstone quick respawn, the Aegis, etc.
Well, our boy EGM here, home stretch. Refresher is inbound.
Yeah, he's got the gold now.
So, and he's also level 16, so this will be a tricky time for Power Rangers. This next team fight, I think, will be extremely telling about the outcome of this match in general. So everyone's getting to that point where structures just kind of melt under the pressure. Dityara is still just massive, though. 23k net worth. Transposing those numbers, that's a pretty big difference.
You can just feel the way the games turn, though. It feels inexorably like Alliance are getting out of the base more. Pycat's more confident in his movements. They still are getting split pushed a bit by the Prophet, but not nearly as much as what it would be if they had a different draft. So unless they see the Storm on the map, they're not very safe. Or they don't feel very safe to get out there, I should say. So does Sanji.
Is the later SNY from Loda? Interesting choice.
You can go back into Manta Halberd. You can leave it as SNY as well.
Yeah.
I still think it's a great Halberd game, just because Gyro relies so heavily on getting those flaks off.
Yeah,
And the BKB will wear down.
Once that BKB gets down to like 5 seconds, the Halberd is a pretty damn useful tool, because I mean, what does the Gyro do once he's Halberd? He just stands there, and then that's kind of like the crux to the PR lineup here.
Look how scared they are. Dityara throws in the cooldown, immediately backs. Well, maybe not entirely scared. They want to go for a pick off here on the top lane. It's on to Loda. They go with the Hex. Storm's ready, though. Pycat with the counter initiate. Loda gonna drop first.
Pycat now on the defensive. He does have a double damage rune on. So, not that it makes
He has the Bloodstone Suicide if he needs it. He's going to zip farther into the trees. TP not ready for 5 seconds. Meanwhile, back in the Dire jungle, It looks like just some chilling.
Just some
Never mind,
smoking.
just some chilling.
Hanging out. Pycat will be able to TP out. So and they do get to pick on the troll, though. Pretty good. More picks like that, it'll be the golden ticket for PR.
That's the power of the Blink Hex. That's the big item for PR. For Alliance, it was getting the BKB and eventually Hex and Storm. It's the exact opposite.
Here we go. Shotshlow in trouble in the mid lane. Gets silenced. Even a Ravage used to secure the kill on Brew before he can split. Pycat uses that BKB. That's a 9-second charge. So, good pick off, but they commit a lot for that.
Yeah. Interestingly, he does not opt to pop the Refresher right away. So, of course you can if you need it, but the cooldown of Refresher and Ravage are pretty similar. So, generally you see Ravage, instant pop.
They used to be very similar. Now with these nerfs to Refresher.
Oh, that's true. It is a bit longer now.
Like 45 seconds difference now. So, yeah, if you can hold it, it's...
The main area where it really hurts you is, let's say they end up having to fight in like the next
50 seconds or something.
Yeah, then he pops Refresher, then he Ravages, and then he's got no Ravage and no double Ravage for a very long time. So
yeah,
it's slightly greedier, I would say, but if not punished by a fight very soon. Of course, PR don't really know, so
yeah,
they can't just assume he's chosen to not use the Refresher. So from that perspective, I think it's a pretty cool play by EGM.
So Roche is up, and I'm a little surprised that PR aren't trying to be a little more aggressive here, given that Dityara just picked up a double damage rune. And in the hands of a gyrocopter this farm, that is basically a sure victory inside the Roche pit. So, not going to go for it. Instead, it will be Pycat that zips around.
You can't go off.
Whoa! The relocate Pycat just gets blown up. There's that double damage rune coming in handy.
That was a surprise mother effer kind of moment right there.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Great bait from J4, though. They had their finger on the trigger ready for that one.
And he couldn't even, I don't even think he was able to get off his BKB in time like that.
Nope.
Just insta-give.
I mean,
I was about to say, because I couldn't quite see the minimap, I was like, oh, this is J4 going to get picked off again. Nuh-uh, they were ready.
Yeah.
That's really smart, though, because J4 is the one who's, earlier this game we saw, he got picked off. So Pycat sees him off, he's like, oh, he's probably off on his own again. Quick, easy kill. He slightly over-zipped, but the safe play there, of course, would have been just instantly popping the BKB when you go in. And if that happens, he maybe doesn't get the kill, but still gets out.
Yeah, so Gyro will trade out his Drum of Endurance here for the Aegis of the Immortal, and still grab a Manta to upgrade that Yasha, but yeah, still has a little room to go. Other item progression, have we seen any other big items pop out yet, especially on the Dire side? And we've talked about the Refresher.
Loda's going to build an Abyssal, it looks like.
Yep, and speak of the devil, Loda BKB'd up top. We'll try to TP out, and that's not going to happen. Either an Abyssal or an MKB.
Oh, that's true, actually. It could be MKB.
There is a Butterfly up already, and oh, that's a full Satanic now on Dityara.
Fat gyro. He's got so many items, he can't even hold his Yasha anymore.
It's like, see, Yasha, you're a nice piece of value for 40 minutes, but I'm going to trade you in. Oh, gosh.
40 minutes, almost 6. We have not seen a gyrocopter get this big in a while.
He's huge. I mean, look at him just cut through these Chen creeps. Takes down 2 of them. Ake uses his mech to try to keep him alive, but that alone, Troll does not have a buyback. 60 gold short.
The Javelin costing them. This could end up being 1-2 lanes.
2 Javelins.
Dire's middle
Wow.
tower
Glyph is
fallen.
available. Tier 3 tower in the mid's already gone down. Still 35 seconds before the Troll comes up. Now the Glyph comes
on the
out.
backside, goes for the pickup. Will manage to find your Nature's Prophet. The best they can do, but they can still get into the meat of this fight very easily. It's the gyrocopter, just the center point, and they might try to cut the waves, but it looks like they're going to go top.
All right, they'll smoke up. Double Ravage is available. Can they do it here, LT?
It's going to come down to if they get off the BKB and the Brew split. Let's see if the timing is quick enough to see that.
Ravage number 1 connects on quite a few, but Shotshlow gets the BKB, and second Ravage slides through. Buyback to the Wisp and the Nature's Prophet.
That's 2 lanes of rack. I think that's TG.
Oh, man.
They got both BKBs off Brew as well as Gyro, and that just won them the game. Quick reactions from Dityara, as well as Shadeslow. Loda buying the Javelin there. I don't know how much he would have done in the fight, but it certainly gave PR a lot more confidence to go for the high ground. And with that, Loda gets run down. Your Brew split only now being used. Mr. Potato. Just really the watermelon getting run over.
Yeah.
Forced back to the well. Sent back. Nice save, but it's still 2 lanes of rack and a lot of death.
It's cute. It's cheeky. Alliance are going to hang in there. They may go for a counter kill onto Dityara, taking some decent damage, but destroys the effigy, turns on the flat cannon, and he still has the Aegis of the Immortal. So honestly, Dityara not really feeling Too afraid right now. A lot of buybacks were used there on both sides of the coin. I want to look at this graph, but another fight breaking out. Cheshire Cat gets jumped on. The potato comes out, hits him with a gush. That's one fierce potato, but Dityara flying back in. Does have a flat cannon up in about 2 seconds here. Aegis of the Immortal still in tow. Seneko comes flying in, picks it back up, relocate, hops forward to try to find the kill on Ake. Homing missile trying to chase him down into the well. And the fire bush will help him out there. Now the storm zipping out of the base. Seneko stays alive.
They just can't kill Dityara anymore. He just won't leave. He's at full health. The Wisp is still here. GG called. Alliance, it doesn't work for them. PR, just quicker reactions, better movements. Pycat died quite a few times too many. I think just played too risky, didn't respect the Scarlet Mage silence, and their draft relied very heavily on him. And the Troll mid also didn't really have the biggest impact.
Yeah, it kind of slowed down the brew. He ended up with like a 12-minute blink, so I felt like.
But who did more later on, right?
Yeah, exactly. I felt like at first, like, wow, the brew's really getting shut down. His splits are all defensive, but once the mid game hit, the Troll just never really got to do much. I mean, we didn't even see too many times where Alliance takes a team fight, then uses the ultimate to move into the Roche or flash push his towers. It just sort of seemed like Loda could have been on any carry that game, and just kind of kept to himself and farmed.
And with that, it's a 1-0 lead. PR looking good. I still think one of the top 3 teams right now in terms of their strength coming into this qualifier, and they continue to show it.
It felt like they were a little bit of a step ahead, especially in that last fight with the BKBs. They knew what was coming. They preemptively did it, and let's see what they have in store coming into Game 2. Thanks for joining us, folks. Stick around because we've got at least one more game of Dota 2 action coming your way. We'll see if PR can take a 2-0 or if Alliance can take us into Game 3 coming up next.